Hey guys, how's it going? It's Etanios here. Welcome to this brand new NHL 22 Detroit Red Wings fantasy franchise mode here on my channel. We're going to be starting up a new franchise mode today to replace the Quebec Nordiques franchise mode that will be wrapping up soon. If that video is not out in the next couple days, I'll be surprised. I am in the works of finishing it up. It is a very long video, probably around an hour or so, but it's wrapping up 13 seasons worth of franchise modes. So today we're going to be jumping into a brand new franchise mode series here. It's going to be a fantasy franchise mode like you guys have been asking for, but it's going to be with a bit of a twist here. So looking at my spreadsheet, we've got, of course, my Detroit Red Wings fantasy franchise tracker here. And really, we're going to keep this a pretty simple series overall, to be honest. It's not going to be super crazy, but it's more just so going to be a matter of sheer volume. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be starting through a fantasy draft. We're going to reset the whole league pretty much, and we're going to try to build an extremely talented team. It might not be the best for the first year or two, but we're focusing on the long term and trying to win. That's really the only goal you guys can see here is 13 Stanley Cups. We're trying to, I guess it would be 14 technically, but we're trying to take that number one spot away from the Montreal Canadiens. They obviously hold 24 Stanley Cups in history, which is absolutely amazing considering there's only been like 105 or 107 handed out or something like that, but almost a quarter of that is Montreal. So we're going to try to get in on some of that action, but we are going to play by a few rules here. Nothing too crazy, obviously. Maximum we're allowed to make is 3 trades per season, and we're only allowed 1 first rounder per year. So obviously we are, some years when we're going to want to trade up, we're going to want to trade up for that number 1, number 2, number 3 selection, somewhere in that top 5. It's not going to happen that often, but you know, if we potentially have the chance to land a number 1 pick, or we have the assets to trade for it, then why wouldn't we, right? Try to bring in some crazy potential players. But with all that said and all of this ready to go, let's jump into the franchise mode. And guys, just before we start setting this up, if you like the concept or enjoy what we're about to do with this series, then make sure to go down below, drop a like, subscribe, hit notifications, do all that good stuff, and let's get into this. So we're going to be going with a classic 32 team franchise mode here. Obviously GM is going to be Etanios. That is who is going to be trying to lead the Red Wings to a ridiculous amount of Stanley Cup glory here over the next 25 years. So the Detroit Red Wings are going to be the team we're playing with. We got Grand Rapids as the minor league here, but let's get into this. You know, career-wise, we aren't going to be doing owner mode. We are going to be doing a fantasy draft with salary cap on, which is going to be interesting. I don't like fog of war, my coach editing my lines, but I do actually enjoy player morale just because it allows players to get up to an 88 or 98, 99 kind of rating, which doesn't really happen otherwise. They only get up to like 96 overall. So let's jump into a couple rules and settings here, and this is going to be interesting. So quick settings-wise, I think we are going to be playing, once we get to like elimination games, whether we're the team being eliminated in the playoffs or if we're the team doing the elimination, that's when I'll jump in and play. Other than that, most of it's going to be quick simmed. We're going to start on Superstar because, you know, I'm pretty used to it at this point. Trade difficulty, I'm going to keep on medium because I find hard is extremely difficult. Auto scouting, you know what? We might set it up. This could be another challenge, is that we set up auto scouting, but you know, I do like to do some of the scouting on my own, so I'll leave that on both for now, but we might change that throughout the series. Advanced settings wise, we want fully healed injuries. We will edit all of that. I'm going to put sim engine scoring, draft cost quality, and prospect generation all on high just because I do like landing some second round steals every now and then that are players that are just ridiculously good that probably shouldn't have fallen out of the first round, but that does happen with high draft class quality. So that's what we're going to be playing with there for advanced settings. As far as the sliders go, we're just going to turn injuries pretty much right down to 5%. If we have it any higher than that, I find that it's just really hard to quickly sim seasons. So yeah, I think that is pretty much all we're doing here for changes in play style and things like that. Penalties, everything else staying the same. And that's our settings. So without any further ado, let's jump into this and get to this fantasy draft. All right, so without randomizing, we're picking right around pick number 3, but that really sets us up to kind of fail in the second, 4th, 6th, and so on, like all the even rounds. So what I kind of want to do is pick somewhere in the middle of the pack here. So let's just, not swap positions, but let's just randomize a few times till we end up in that middle column. That's all I really want to do here is hopefully get a middle pick. Oh my goodness, how many more randomizations? There we go. Okay, 20 is probably good. That should be fine. It's almost in the middle. We're on the back half of the first round, but that's okay because I'm not going to lie to you guys. I have ran a fantasy draft with my current rosters once before starting this series, and I just want to try to land a couple Red Wings players like Seider, Ramyond, Cossa, Edvinsson, like the big name prospects on Detroit. I want to try to get them in with this Detroit squad still. And Buffalo's going to get Connor McDavid, so there you go, Buffalo fans. I'm sure you're going to enjoy that. Who else is getting sewered here? Vegas, Montreal. Hey, you know what? That's kind of like playoff teams. Tampa's in there. Yeah, okay. Okay, so that's not terrible. I like how this is set up, and let's get to this. So you guys saw me randomize, but that is your first round to start off. Pretty big names going here early. Makes sense, though. Kyle Connor's a franchise player. I guess I set that, but Draisaitl, McDavid, Draisaitl number 1, 2. Not really surprising. Draisaitl in San Jose is an interesting one, but I think we're going to have to start off with... it's going to come down to... I'm skipping over guys like Bertuzzi and Larkin just because they are a bit older, and we are playing a full 25 years here, so... what we're going to do is we're going to be mainly drafting by potential here. I'm not even going to lie. And to start things off, I think we want to go with our right winger, Lucas Raymond, just because he does tend to get picked really early throughout here. He is 19, so let's take Lucas Raymond with our first pick. It makes sense, and I am praying to God here that that Moritz Seider did not get picked here with the second rounder, but he might have. Doesn't look all that likely, so... I mean, hey, Adam Fox would have been a pretty sweet deal too. But you know what? We'll take Lucas Raymond with our first rounder. I'm not upset with that at all. I do like how we're going to set this team up. It's going to be a bit of a rough first 2 or 3 seasons, but you guys will understand once we start to play through it a bit more just how effective this drafting strategy is going to be. So with our third round pick, we see Larkin, Robertson, Bertuzzi. Yeah, pretty much all the other Detroit names, like big Detroit names anyways, get picked in that second round. But yeah, so many good players throughout here that are just, they're going to make huge impacts on whichever team they're on. Owen Power goes in the second round. That's pretty impressive. Buffalo just misses out on their actual franchise defenseman, but I do have kind of a list lined up for players I want to draft. We aren't going to be going with the older guys. We're going to be sticking with mainly young talent. So with that in mind, next I think we really need a center. And at center, we are going to stick with... I think I want to go with Matty Beniers, just based on the fact that, he's got ankle breaker. He's just a crazy two-way forward. He's going to be able to play tons of high minutes. So I think Beniers is going to be our next pick. He's obviously not going to get the craziest, start to his career with the Red Wings, but that's okay because, it's going to take us a couple years to really build this team up to a winning caliber. And I'm okay with that. It's not going to be an easy road to start off by any means here, but you can see lots of other good young players. You're kidding me. Zadina got picked in the third round. Ah, man. Well, Philip Zadina was going to be my next pick. So that one kind of stings, but I guess we're just going to have to suck it up and go with what we got. So, shoot. Okay. Next up, let's see who else is even available here. Maybe we go with another defenseman. That's kind of annoying. I do want to take Sanderson if we get the chance, but the fact that Zadina just got picked in round 3, I was expecting him to go in round 4. So yeah, maybe we do go with a guy like, maybe not Boqvist, even though he would be pretty sweet too. Because yeah, you guys can see Edvinsson, maybe Lambos. We're looking at guys here that are going to be extremely good. Maybe we go with a Luke Hughes too. Luke Hughes would be nice. He'd be a good piece with this team, but Sanderson as well. We know Sanderson's just going to be sweet. So let's go with Jake Sanderson for our fourth rounder there. I am going to be picking the majority of prospects here over everybody else. But yeah, that was a bit of a curveball there that the game threw me. It throws me in them every now and then, and I just sit back and laugh because I can't do anything about it. But yeah, you can see we're drafting slightly lower end players. I'm gonna try to tank for guys like Wright and Bedard off the bat. If we don't get them, we don't get them. But we'll see how the picks treat us. So not only the picks, but the draft lottery too, because this team is not going to be very good off the start. All right, so for our round 5 pick here, I'm going to go with, I think I'm going to go with Quinton Byfield. Again, just, he's a number 2 pick. He's pretty ridiculous as far as how he plays, how his X factors go, everything like that. He is a very good player. So yeah, let's take Quinton Byfield with our 5th rounder. And heading into round 6 here, I think we're looking for potentially a goalie, but also potentially a winger. We'll see who else got picked in here. So Byfield, Mercer goes high. That's a really high pick for Dawson Mercer. Newhook, McTavish are really elite centers. So I think with the next pick, we are going to go with... I'm torn here because we could go for a goalie, but, Cossa's going to fall a little bit further. We know that's going to happen. He's only 74 rated, but we could go with Askarov or Askarov. I don't think he's going to be quite as good a goalie as Cossa, to be honest, but we could also go, we need a left winger, like a good left winger here. So Guenther could be the option there. I don't really want him just because he's a little lower rated than I would like. Maybe like an Alexander Holtz or a Philip Tomasino. Those guys could be good too. I think we go with Holtz and maybe just play him on the off wing because he's a sniper. His shot is really good. So yeah, let's go with Alexander Holtz for our 6th round pick. All right, so we get Holtz there with the 6th round pick. Heading into round 7, looks like we're going to miss Nedeljkovic, Turcotte, Wallstrom, even Gurianov. So yeah, there are definitely good players being picked after here. Askarov goes there in the next round. Same with Romanov. I'm looking mainly at prospects. Don't get me wrong, there are going to be some really sweet teams here. Like a team like Buffalo is going to just have so many good players to build around McDavid with. But with our next pick here, we are going to, we're going for that future powerhouse kind of build here. That's what we're doing with this team. But with round number, what are we at, 7? Yeah, round 7. I think I want Kent Johnson out of everybody because he just, I don't know what it is with this Kent Johnson build. Maybe it's because he's so freaking fast or because he's got good puck skills or something, but he just always seems to score a ridiculous amount of points in my franchise mode. So we'll take Johnson there with round 7. Jack Quinn gets picked. Tomasino goes. All right, heading into round number 8 now. Jakub Vrana goes. And again, I'm just going to keep picking like off-board kind of players here, but guys still with, really good potential. And I think the guy I want next is Matthew Boldy. Again, these are created players. I won't deny that we're adding created players here, but I find with created players, they just tend to simulate a lot better than most guys. So that is also kind of what we're playing to here as far as an X factor, like strong suit of this draft. I hope you guys don't hate me for it, but it's just, we're going to see some crazy results eventually with a team like this. So you look at the players we've drafted so far, and it allows us to potentially make trades for pieces that fit our team better in the long run too. So up next, after Boldy, Edvinsson and Cossa are definitely, or Edvinsson and Lambos are definitely on the board still, but I think I want Sebastian Cossa now just to make sure that we get him. So we'll take him with our round 9 pick, and he's going to be our goalie of the future, no doubt in my mind about that. And hopefully, not too many other players really get picked out of order from where I'm expecting them to go, just based on our short list. I am drafting off of a short list. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. But heading into our next round, round number 10, and I think we're going to go get Simon Edvinsson now. 72 rated, 18 years old. He's just a fantastic prospect with crazy good defensive stats, and, playing him along with Sanderson and, of course, other guys like Seider and, we're going to get more, but we got Seider, Sanderson, and Edvinsson right now. Like, that is just an elite defensive core. So that's going to be one of the main things that really helps this team win. Apart from that, heading into round number 11, I am going to go with yet another Detroit player, but it's going to be a bit of an off-board pick. Again, not really a guy that you guys would probably expect me to pick here or this early, but I actually really want Michael Rasmussen. Maybe we could pick him 1 round later over, I'm looking at my draft here, and we just have so many centers that it probably wouldn't hurt. Yeah, it probably wouldn't hurt to do this instead and to draft another winger. All right, so just left wing wise, I'm going to go with Dylan Guenther here. Again, another prospect that, maybe he doesn't fit our system or things like that, but we could definitely trade him in the near future. Dylan Holloway goes in round 12, not a bad pick. Also seems kind of early, but not really based on his potential. All right, after that, Luukkonen gets picked. Luukkonen probably could have been a better goalie pick than a guy that I was thinking like Cossa, but we want Cossa because he is drafted by Detroit originally. So next up, we will take Michael Rasmussen just to kind of build out our left wing a little bit better. We've now got 3 left wingers, 3 centers, 3D, 2 right wingers. So our next pick is actually going to be another defenseman if he hasn't already been taken. The way I've planned my draft out here is just that, so we're drafting players that are supposed to go 1 or 2 rounds further back than they do, or than they're going to when we pick them. So we're picking a little further ahead just based on potential, and I think it is going to pay out. So next up, round number, what are we on now? 13, round number 13, we're going to go with another D-man, a very good D-man, great prospect defenseman especially, and it's not going to be Carson Lambos, even though a lot of you guys are probably thinking that. No, it's going to be Brandt Clarke. So we'll take Clarke here in round 13, and into round 14 now, and we are going to go with another goalie. This guy's going to be our original backup here to start things off, and it's going to be not Levi Lindbergh. Even Cossa would be good too, but no, the guy I really want, if he's still on the board here, he might not be. We might have to wing this. Did Nico Dawes really get picked already? Bro. No way. Somebody took Nico Dawes at the end of round 13? Seriously? Where did he go? Was he in round 12? And did I just miss him? Yeah, wow. Nico Dawes went in round 12. That was a little unexpected, to be honest. I didn't think he was going to go that high. So, ouch. First off, ouch, because we were going to take him. But looking at other goaltender options now based on potential and age and everything like that. We don't want too young a goalie, but we don't want a really old goalie either. So, maybe Primo, maybe DiPietro. None of these guys I really wanted, but go with Cossa maybe. Probably wouldn't be the worst option in the world. All right, screw it. Let's go with Drew Cossa. I guess that'll have to work. It's not exactly what I wanted, but yeah, we were gonna go. No, I think we need like a backup caliber kind of goalie here. So eventually we're going to take, if we still get the option, eventually we're going to take Jonathan Quick. But I think for now I'm going to go with Caden Primo, and we'll stick with that pick, I guess. All right, so not terrible there, but there's another curveball the game throws me. I was expecting a different player, and he gets picked 2 rounds further ahead than I was anticipating. So all right, Chaz Lucius is a good player. He's going to be good. Beecher as well. Those are all very good players. But all right, next up we are going to take. I'm kind of thinking Matthew Coronato here. Yeah, let's go with Coronato. If I can find him. Just because, 72 rated at 18 with a ton of X factors. He's going to develop eventually, so we'll take Coronato. And then with our next pick, as long as he hasn't been picked, which you never know. Sometimes, like I've found, especially in fantasy drafts, it's so hard to predict where guys are actually going to get drafted. So Marco Rossi goes as an elite player there. Feovardi's like a high top 6, but gets picked there. Okay. All right, next up we're going with Carson Lambos just to really round out this defensive core. We've got 5 kind of top-end defensemen there now with Edvinsson, Clarke, Lambos, Sanderson, and Seider. Like, that's just, that's insane. That's some of the best defensemen that have been picked in the last 5 years. So, all right, up next, round 17, we're going to fill out the center position a little more with, yet again, you know, it's created players and it's young prospects, but I'm going to go with Brisson. Vegas drafted player. It looks like he's going to be super good in the future. Niemelainen gets drafted really high. I guess I did bump his potential. Comesso goes there. Svechkov goes there. Okay, interesting kind of draft here. But up next, round, what are we on now? 18? Ooh, if we can, yeah, if he's still on the board here, I would love to pick up Thomas Bordeleau. So what we're doing is we're drafting out our kind of lower end of the system. Reason being is that when we draft guys like Bordeleau and other players like that, they're going to develop in the minors eventually. And then once they do, then that's just rounds out our team so much more. We're going to play kind of like, we're going to play the tanking team, that kind of role to start for the first 2 or 3 seasons, but I'm okay with that. So next up, I'm going to fill out the right wing a little bit more here, and we're going to go with Jacob Perreault. 73 rated again, you know. We'll see who develops. Some guys won't develop just based on playtime and things like that. But Mason Laurie, Devin Levi, Will Borgen even, yeah, hey. Jackson Lacombe, Farinaki, Ryan Merkley. All right, good prospects, good players there. So, round number 20, taking another prospect. We're literally just drafting prospects until like the last 5 or 6 rounds of this draft, where we will then draft like the really old veteran kind of players. That's the tactic I'm going to use here. So, Kuznetsov just slips there. All right, that's okay. Instead, we're going to go with hopefully a good potential player here in Shai. How do you say his name? Is it Buium? Byfield? How do you say his name? You guys got to let me know how to pronounce his name in the comments below so I can actually say it in the future. I'm going to say Shane Buium for now. Or Shai Buium. But he's a really good Detroit prospect too. We're going to take him. You know, get him in like round 21, 22. And I'll take it. I'm not going to complain about it. So, with one of our last kind of potential picks here, I think we're going to go with... Is he still on the board? I don't know if he is. He might have been picked. Yeah. I don't know, unless I just missed him here. Maverick Bork was going to be my pick. Oh, no, he's right there. Okay. Yeah, so I did just miss him. But we'll take Maverick Bork. Looks like a very good player again. You guys know how good he's projecting for the Dallas Stars. He's going to be one of those steals probably again for them. And to round out the defense a little more, we're going to go with... I'm planning on Jared McIsaac here, if he's still around. That he is. Beautiful. All right. Round number 24 now. And now we get into contract filler picks. Because as you can see, we've got $63 million of cap space to spend here. So, don't get me wrong. Some other players are going to be on expiring deals that we're potentially going to be able to pick up in free agency and project the team towards a cup much easier once, you know, guys like PK Subban expire. But we'll take Subban just for now to fill a top 6 NHL role. But apart from that, you know, he's not really going to be doing all that much for this team. So, up next, I think we're just going to go with Ryan Getzlaf. You know, he's $3 million. He's not a crazy huge cap filler, but we'll take him. He's going to be a decent center, and I can't really complain about that. So, up next, we don't want to get stuck into 5 or 6 year deals with Skinner or Weber or any guys like that. We want to stick to the smaller deals here, so I'm going to go with Dustin Brown on the next one. We'll eat some more cap space with that. Apart from that, In the next round, we'll go with these rounds don't really matter at this point. They're such they're all kind of like expiring contract deals. So up next, I'm going to take Goligoski as another top 6 D-man. All right. After that, I think I want to go with, who do we want to go with actually? Just looking at my list here kind of players that are good to draft but aren't like super expensive. Let's go with Strawman. Again, another defenseman. He'll play top 6 minutes for the first year or two here in Detroit, and then after that, we'll probably let him go. All right. Up next, do we still have the goalie? Yeah, we do. Jonathan Quick. Beautiful. All right, so we'll take Jonathan Quick there. He'll be our starter for this upcoming season. Not saying he's going to be good by any means, but we're not necessarily looking for good either right off the bat. After that, I'm going to take Victor Rask just because we do need a couple more centers here that aren't just like prospect centers. And after that, let's see, I could go with Hornquist. We either go with Hornquist or Okposo. I think I'm going to go with Patrick Hornquist for now. And then as our final pick here, we just want another cap eater contract, and that's where Louis Eriksson comes in. So there you guys have it. The draft is complete. It's a bit of a weird franchise mode start because we go like prospect, all old guys. Like that's just how the draft setup in the fantasy is going to go here. So I know you guys are looking at this team like you're going to suck, and yeah, we're going to suck, but that's okay because you know, we're going to work on that prospect development. We're going to build a sick team in the minors. Like the Grand Rapids Griffins should borderline be pushing for the Calder Cup first 2 seasons here. So, but apart from that, the NHL team, the Detroit Red Wings are going to stink for like 2 more seasons at least. But once those other players start to develop, once we bring in a few more really top end prospects, that's when this team's going to look phenomenal. And that's when we're going to see this team start to win consistently. All right, so I have kind of broken down and assessed this team already just based on how things are looking, who we drafted, things like that, players that are actually going to be with the team versus players who are very likely going to be going back to junior and things like that. Like if we go and just look in the system here, there are going to be at least a handful of prospects. Yeah, like look at how few guys, prospect-wise, are actually in the system. Like it's not very many, unfortunately, so... Like a lot of these guys, not a lot of them, but certain guys like Lambos and Bork, we could probably send back either to the minors or we could send them to like juniors again. Those are both options. And then, yeah, in the system, like we got to pull so many of these guys up to the NHL level that it's going to be a little tricky at first, but we'll get it figured out. So Primo's not, oh, he is in the NHL. Okay, I'm looking at it like, what's going on here? So we only really drafted 3 goalies. We'll have to sign another. And I have pretty much a whole plethora of free agent signings we have to do with this team. But just one other thing to kind of focus on here is this upcoming draft. Guys like, you know, Wright and Slafkovsky are going to be at the top of the draft. Not really surprising. Nemec and Juraj are both falling pretty significantly in the draft. So maybe that's something we could clean up a bit. Maybe we could snag guys like Ogren or Zilkin or players like that. That could be an option as well. But, you know, our team's projecting top 5, most likely. I'm interested in a guy like Mikkola. No idea how good he's going to be because he is a computer-generated prospect. But, you know, we will get the scouting reports in on these guys pretty soon. And hopefully they won't be looking too bad or weak or anything like that. Because every now and then, you know, players don't really pan out, so... We got no scout on Nemec. No scout on Juraj either. They're both an extra league, go figure. So we'll have to get an extra league scout in there just to start getting them into our scouting reports. And hopefully, you know, maybe one of them becomes a pick. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe this Detroit team is just going to outperform every expectation in the book. But that might actually be the case. I have no idea how the things are going to go here with this team. So... That's an interesting one. Lane Belfour. Never heard that name before. And he's in a rest of the world league, so who knows? But Let's just get the team sorted out here. There's going to be a ridiculous amount of roster moves being made here and things like that, but that's okay because that's just how we're going to manage this team to start things off. So let's get into free agency here, get the lineup set up, and then we'll get into a season sim probably in the next episode, but that I want to work this start of the series like this. So let's get into some signings here. Trying to go with like two-way kind of deals preferably, but we'll see how those go. So we're not really lacking at center, but I'd like to bring in a slightly younger player. Maybe like Nick Bjugstad could be all right. He's also 6'6", so yeah, just a one-year deal for Bjugstad is probably good. We don't really need more than that. Looking at left wingers here, I'd love to bring in Arturi Lehkonen. He'd be a nice cheap deal for a year. Apart from Lehkonen, maybe we go with like Aston Reese again, another young cheap deal, a guy that I want to bring in there at 26, 27 years old. Over on the right wing, I think we go with Okposo and maybe like, or sorry, not Okposo. We go with Trevor Moore and like, we need a lot of right wingers, to be honest. We're going to sign 3 or 4 of them here, so we'll go with Panic. We'll go with, who else do we want to go with here? Maybe like a Josh Archibald if he's available. Yeah, he's 28. Okay, let's sign him too. All right, so we'll do those 3 for now. See if we need more than that. I don't think we really will to start off, but who knows? So as far as defensemen go now, defensemen are going to be a bit of a tricky one. So we'll go with Ilya Lyubushkin there. I do want to try and get some decent potential players here. So we'll go with Luke Green. I don't know why I thought it was Logan. We'll go with Cabo Bianco. And we'll go with Jalen maybe? No, let's go with Adam Ginning actually. All right, and we do need a backup goalie as well. So I think that's just about all our bases covered. We're going to go with Vivalainen here just for now. Again, younger kind of goalie will play backup second string to a guy like Sebastian Cossa, and I'm good with that. So let's get to the crap ton of roster moves we have to do here in just a minute. We should be getting these signings back. Who are you? Sebastian Cossa? I'm going to say we send him down, to be completely honest. All right, yeah, so we are going to send Cossa down. I think that's just the better move. How is our coaching staff, by the way? Like, if it's not great, we're going to be struggling here. So it's interesting. That is an interesting coaching staff, but that's okay. We're definitely lacking a bit in the amateur scouting department, so we'll get that figured out here too in a bit. But the Red Wings are going to be a very, very interesting team. And I'd really like these free agents to come in. So we get Ginning, Green. All right, we only got 2 to start off. We get Archibald, Lyubushkin, Capobianco, Lehkonen, Moore, Aston Reese, Panic, Bjugstad, Vivalainen. All right, I think that's everybody. Let's advance one more day just to make sure. And all right, let's get to the roster moves. So essentially anybody under like a 73 rating is very likely going to be getting sent down. I can't do more than 3 at a time, so that's a tad bit annoying, but that's okay. We'll just start going here. It's gonna be, yeah, this is gonna be annoying, but oh well. All right, Byfield, Bordeleau, yeah, okay. Rask, Lehkonen, and Moore are probably all worth sending up to, and then yeah, Edvinsson, Perreault, Brisson can go down. I totally missed some signings. We're definitely short still. Why did I go to edit players? That's not right. Okay, so we're definitely short a few players still. I don't know why I missed them, but I did. So let's go out and sign a few more guys here. So starting things off. We need a couple more NHL level left wingers, so let's bring in a guy like Anders Bjork. Let's bring in... I don't know who else yet. I kind of want Jason Spezza. Jason Spezza would actually be pretty sweet. Sign him for a year. I think we could get other good left wingers here too. Maybe like a Jeff Skinner potentially, or a Nick Foligno. Nick Foligno probably wouldn't hurt. You know what? Let's bring in a couple of them here. We've got quite a few roster spaces available still. So yeah, let's bring in Skinner too. Defensively, I would like to bring in slightly younger players if we can. I don't know if the guys that I'm looking for are still here. They probably aren't. They probably got signed. So instead of that, let's just go with what's available. So maybe like, yeah, Matheson could be good. We'll sign him for $2 million just to eat up some cap space. Reason being is we do need to kind of fill this cap space so we don't get those cap boosters. But apart from that, Robert Hagg probably wouldn't be the worst option ever. We're not paying him $12 million. We'll pay him like $1.5 million. All right, and then after that, let's see. We need one more defenseman. Maybe Chara's the guy. Yeah, screw it. Let's go with Zdeno Chara. Why not? He's still playing. If he wants to still play, why wouldn't you let him play? He's 44. All right, and then I think did we get everybody? Yeah, we did. I totally missed some of my NHL signings, which was why I'm looking at the team like, why is this team so weak still? That's exactly why. So let's advance a little bit further here. All right, we get Matheson. We should be getting everybody else. Skinner, Bjork, Spezza, Chara, Foligno couldn't accept. Okay, so we miss out on Marcus Foligno, but that's okay. And I think the team has got pretty much everything it needs now. So let's look at this team here. All right, Primo can stay up. Cossa's going down. Quick's coming up. All right. Defensively, this is in the system. So yeah, we definitely need to bring like Chara, Matheson, and Hagg up. And then we need to send like Clarke and probably Sanderson. As much as I would like Jake Sanderson to play, he needs that year of minor league conditioning just to get him up to like an NHL level. So we'll do that. Right wing wise, you know, we're actually looking pretty good on the wing, actually. I'm surprised how good that looks. So let's just send Panic up and send Holtz down. I think that's going to be our best move for now. Left wing wise, dear Lord, this needs some work. All right, so those three guys can go up, and then we'll send Guenther and Boldy down. Oh, maybe we can't send all three. We should be able to. What about the right wingers? Who are... the right wingers are all around that 79-80 mark, so... I would like Rasmussen playing, so maybe we leave Bjork. All right, and then at center, we cannot have like three of these guys playing in the NHL yet. So let's do that. All right, I like how that looks now. Looking at our minor league team. Our minor league team is going to be... Oh, wait, is this in the NHL? I might have messed up there. Oh, yeah, I totally messed up. Oops. All right, switch those guys. Bordeleau and Bjork go down. And then Brisson. Oh, hold on, that's wrong. And then Beniers and Bugstad go up. All right, so that's in the system. All right, that looks good. That looks good. Yep. And defensively, we're loaded prospect-wise. We're going to be playing more of our prospect defensemen, but that's okay. So centers, they look okay. Matthew Beniers is going to need to grow. Left wing is good. Right wing is good. Defense is weak but good, and yeah, this team is going to get slaughtered. So let's just see how the best NHL lines look here with this team, and then see where we're going from there. You know, that's actually not the worst lineup I've ever seen. It could definitely be better, but at the same time, you know, I'm sure if we just play with this a little bit, move a couple players around, we're not going to struggle too much. Matheson just does not want to play anywhere, which is fair enough. Although I do really like how this team is shaping up. So, all right. The team is not as bad as I actually expected it to be. I'm okay with the team we got. It's not going to be the most insane lineup you've ever seen, but that's kind of what we're expecting here too. So, Spezza is definitely a second liner over Getzlaf. Rask should probably play there. Rasmussen should be getting fourth line minutes approximately. Skinner's a third line scorer that should actually improve our team, but probably won't. Beniers, you know what? He might need to play higher up in the lineup just to get chemistry. I don't really see the chemistry working here any other way, so you know what? Beniers and Raymond together isn't the worst thing ever. They are a little bit small, but that's okay. We'll manage. Okay, that's pretty good. I really like this lineup apart from the fact that Beniers is playing top line minutes. That's the only thing that is like iffy about this lineup, but apart from that, it works. We'll make it work. We don't really have too many other options here with this team, especially based on the fact that the chemistry is so poor. So yeah, we'll definitely need to work on. I mean, hey, our penalty kills look fantastic, but don't expect our power play to convert at all. So yeah, that's the team we're gonna go with. It's a bit of a strange one to start off, but we've got the prospects in place. We just need them to grow now, and well, we'll see how it goes. So guys, this is our AHL team, the Grand Rapids Griffins, who I'm expecting to, you know, at least be competing this year, to be a decent team, but we've got a really good system in here. I really like the guys that, you know, we've drafted, and the interesting part is we're going to see guys like Thomas Bordeleau, you know, Jacob Perreault, Dylan Guenther, Quinton Byfield. Like, we're going to get to see these guys in AHL action. When they get scratched, they don't go back to the juniors, which is nice. We've even got a guy like Knies in here who, you know, should be good, but we'll see what happens. I mean, yeah, I like how this lineup is. The defense looks phenomenal. And yeah, we'll get to see Carson, Lambos, and Brandt Clarke together as well on that bottom pairing. Roll all pairings is a good system there. And we got Sebastian, Cossa, and Vini Vivalainen in net. So yeah, I really like the team that we are working with here today. Alright, so guys, we're going to simulate to the regular season, just see how the team's looking, and then next episode we'll get through the sim, probably into a draft, as it's pretty unlikely that this team actually goes anywhere this year. But, you know, here's how this drafted team is looking, and overall, 85 offense, 87 defense, and 81 goaltending isn't going to be the best set up for winning in comparison to like 90s and 80s there. Overall, it's gonna be a bit of a rough go. I will not deny that, but hey, we'll see what happens. I mean, this Detroit team could surprise a lot of people if they actually start winning, including myself, because I don't expect them to actually do anything significant or effective, but we'll see what happens. So, one more thing we probably should figure out in this episode is the captaincy. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Who should have the C? Should it be Seider? Should it be Raymond? Should it be somebody else? Like, we don't really have enough prospects in this team yet to really assign letters, in my opinion. Maybe a guy like Beniers could have an alternate too. Like, I don't know who our top guys are going to be, but we'll see who kind of starts leading this team, who are the captains, who are the leaders on this team. I think we just roll with 3 alternates for now. I think that is the best plan of attack, and then we'll see how this team does. But yeah, that's where we're going to wrap it up. Let me know in the comments below who we should name captain by the end of the next episode and all that other good stuff. Drop a like, subscribe, do that stuff down below this video. But that is going to be it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Etaniel signing out, and until next time.